Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well this evening. Okay, looks like we are indeed live. That's good. Let me just double check here. Hang on for me 1 second. This is my first time going live from home, so I want to make sure I do it right. Let's see. Yeah, there we are. Perfect. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. So this evening, Disney Cruise Line obviously is expanding over the next several years, and this evening the Disney Destiny is to be towed out of the Meyer Werft shipyard through the Eames River and taken out basically to sea. And they've been finishing her in the shipyard and doing all this stuff. And I really wanted to see her tow out. And so I just started this live stream because I wanted to watch it with some friends. And so I am watching the live stream. The live stream that we're going to be watching today is not my live stream. This is not my YouTube channel. This is another person's YouTube channel. This is Hamburg Port Live. And they are doing all the heavy lifting on this. We are still waiting for them to go live. It says live in 5 hours, but it is currently September 19th at 11:30 p.m. in Papenburg. So they should be going live any minute. I was checking the marine traffic website. Excuse me. I was checking the marine traffic website, and she's already moving. Like, she's out here. And they are going to be towing her out this gate here and then all the way down the Eames River. We won't be with this live stream that long, but they'll be towing her through all these pastures and everything, and all the way out into the ocean. And then I think they stop somewhere down here at one of the other shipyards to fill up with gas and do that kind of thing. But it's really interesting to me to see that, like, that's the Meyer Werft shipyard where these giant cruise ships are built, and it is significantly inland, like way inland. So, but according to marine traffic, she has already pushed off from over here where this other, I don't know what ship that is, but she has already pushed off and is already on the way, but we don't have a live stream from Hamburg Port Live yet, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. Last year, so this is the plan for, this is Disney Cruise Line blog. If you guys don't have a Disney Cruise Line blog account, you should definitely go sign up if you're a Disney cruiser. But Disney Cruise Line blog has all these details about every ship that they know about, and even the ones that they don't know about on here. And so last year, I think it was yesterday, last year is when they did the same thing with the Disney Treasure. And actually, that's the photo that you see here is the Disney Treasure being towed through all these cow pastures and stuff in the middle of Germany. So kind of cool to look at. Like I said, we're just kind of waiting. Just kind of waiting for these guys to get their stream started. So their stream, if you look over here, let me pull this back up. Over here on the right-hand side, they have everything in German, because everybody who is watching this is pretty much in German. So I have this being translated off to the side in English for those of us who don't speak German. And if you do speak German and Google Translate is doing something wrong, please tell me, because I don't know if it's doing the right thing or not. Once again, though, not my live stream. I'm just sitting here watching and enjoying their live stream, but Hamburg Port Live is the one who is doing all the heavy work. So if you want to go watch their live stream directly, you can go there. The link is down in the description to go take a look at their stream directly. I don't know what's taking them so long. I just double checked. Like the time in Hamburg is. I just did that, right? Time now in Papenburg, Germany. 11:37, September 19th. There's that. So I don't know. Although right here it says 9:20, but there's a lot of people sitting here waiting to view. 27 people sitting here waiting. So I don't know. I have always been obsessed with Disney cruise ships. My family and I went on a Disney cruise for the very first time in 2011. We went on the Disney Dream. And we went, my great-grandmother, Grandma Mickey, had passed away. And when she passed away, my Grandma Jan, who has now passed away, decided that she wanted to take us all on a Disney cruise. So we all went on a Disney cruise, and it was Grandma, Grandpa, all the aunts and uncles, all the cousins, everybody. It was total insanity. But we went on a 4-night out of Port Canaveral, and maybe it was a 5-night. I don't really remember. But we went out of Port Canaveral, and we just spent a couple of days on the Dream, and it was just so much fun. It was so much fun to be out there in the ocean and, like, totally away. Because back in those days, of course, you weren't, like, there was no Wi-Fi connection. I mean, you could get Wi-Fi, but, like, pretty much all you could do with it was check your email. So that used to be what we did, and you'd go out in the middle of the ocean and you have no contact with anybody, and it was amazing. And that feeling of, like, isolation but, like, peace and calm really just set me up for a deep love of Disney cruises. And it was great. Then a couple years later, I applied to work for Disney Cruise Line, and I worked there for a whole whopping 6 months because I was young and made some poor decisions and decided I didn't want to do it anymore, and that was a big regret of my life. But it was fun to work there, and it was fun to see, like, how it worked behind scenes. And now here they are expanding so many ships. I think we have a plan for like 13 ships. Here, let's go in here and see. Let's see. So we currently have the Magic, which was the very first cruise ship, came out in 1998. That was the ship that I used to work on. I was an entertainment host, like I said, for just about 6 months. It was not a very long. I did 1.5 contracts because I decided to leave early, which I do regret. Then we have the Disney Wonder, which came out in 1999. Then the Disney Dream in 2011. We went on board in her inaugural year. It wasn't the maiden voyage, but we went on the inaugural year. And then the Disney Fantasy 2012. And then here's where we currently are building. So the Disney Wish came out in 2022, although she started being built, I think it was 2020. Then, I don't know, something happened in 2020 that changed the world a little bit and kind of delayed things. But what was that? Oh, yeah, COVID. COVID happened. Wish got delayed, came out in 2022. Then last year we had the Treasure in 2024. This year, right now, we have the Disney Destiny, and then we have the Disney Adventure coming out. She just got delayed. She was supposed to be coming out in December, and she's now coming out in March, I think, next year. They had delays in the Shipyard process, so she also is getting delayed, but she is not a custom built. Basically, Disney went out and said, hey, we found this giant ship that the hull had already been built and all this stuff, and the company that owned her went under, and Disney was like, okay, we'll just buy the hull and revamp her to be a Disney cruise ship. And they did, but they're still waiting on something over in the shipyard for completion purposes. Then we have the Destiny, who is what we're sitting here graciously waiting to float out. And then we have the no-name 2027 ship, which they have already started steel cutting on and laying and working on. They're already working on that vessel. And then we have the Oriental Land Company ship, which is scheduled for 2028. That ship will be owned by the Oriental Land Company, but not owned by Disney Cruise Line directly. It'll be owned by Oriental Land Company. And the reason there is that businesses in Japan have to be Japanese-owned businesses for people to be able to operate in Japan. So that's why it'll be owned by Oriental Land Co. in a partnership with Disney Cruise Line. And basically, for all intents and purposes, it is Disney Cruise Line ship. But it's the same way that they operate their park, because Tokyo Disneyland is the same way. It's owned by Oriental Land Company. Then we have the no-name class of ships. So Disney has already announced that, these vessels, the Dream class and the Wish class vessels, all are larger vessels. But as the Magic and the Wonder continue to age, Disney has already announced this next class of vessels, where it's going to be 3 smaller ships that they can kind of take on some of these custom itineraries and into some of these smaller ports that you may want to go into somewhere in the Caribbean or in the Atlantic, or wherever it is you're looking to go. Let's see where. Yeah, see, she's still scooching along. Definitely made some progress from where she was. I don't know what's going on with this stream. Maybe they're going live at midnight their time, which would be in about 15 minutes. This person says, the show at the beginning looked very nice on their stream, but I still don't have a stream. Let's try going back and reloading their page here. Did they go Mein Schiff and Aida Lieblingsschiff? I don't know. That's definitely not the right stream, though. Yeah, they definitely scheduled for the 19th. Live alarm on WhatsApp. This is very strange. Hi. My dog is here, and normally by this time my wife is coming home and I'm talking to her when she calls. And he is a desperately needy puppy that has to follow a routine. And if it's not his routine, he gets very, very upset. And he's currently asking to go to the bathroom. You're okay. Lay down. For those of you who don't know, we are currently racing to get to 1,000 subscribers. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we would really appreciate if you did. We are trying to make this into a full-time business for us. And we are currently doing a Disney gift card giveaway. So we are giving away a $100 Disney Cruise Line onboard credit and a $100 Disney gift card. If you are interested in entering to win, it is a giveaway. It is free. You don't have to do anything other than go to one of our videos and comment "boo to you" after you have subscribed, and you'll be entered to win. And then I will reach out to you and say, hey, congratulations, you won. And I will send you a gift card via the emails and the interwebs. So if you have not subscribed, we would appreciate that. And if you want to look at the rules and regulations of that, you'll be able to find them on our website, magicandthemurphys.com, which is right here. magicandthemurphys.com, and you'll be able to see the official giveaway rules. which are also available at magicandthemurphys.com/giveaway. And there's all the rules that you'll be able to look at and go all legal on and understand exactly everything that's going on there. But like I said, I do want to give away a Disney gift card and onboard credit, but like hardly anybody has actually entered. Buttery Sprite, hi from Whitby, Canada, sir. We need a Disney here. All the land we have. Yes, you do. I actually wouldn't be surprised if in the next maybe 10 years, if there wasn't a Canadian park somewhere for y'all up there in the Great White North, because just with all the investing that they're doing into the parks and developing and doing all that stuff, I would not be surprised if you got a park in Canada. Really wouldn't. And thanks for tuning in this morning on the Hollywood Studios Live. That was nice of you. Excuse me. I still don't understand what's happening with this live stream. I thought they were going to be on it, when they said they would be on. Right at 5:30 our time. The problem is that all of YouTube's times are. That's such a great idea. Where in Canada do you think it should go? Ooh. Well, we loved when we went up to Vancouver. We went up to Vancouver, and we sailed out of Vancouver for our Alaskan cruise, Vancouver, Canada, and it was such a nice city. I mean, it was so pretty. Everybody was very kind, very clean. It was a great trip. Maybe somewhere up there, I don't know. And honestly, I don't know enough about Canada to be able to say, oh, it should go there or there. But I would not be surprised if Canada had a park within the next decade or so. I think it would be a good addition up there. And I mean, yeah, everybody could come down to the American parks. That's true. But I don't know. Canada needs something. They need something. I also wouldn't be surprised if we ended up getting down to getting a park somewhere down in South America. Maybe Brazil or somewhere down there, just because there is currently zero Disney theme parks in the Southern Hemisphere. None. Every single Disney theme park is in the Northern Hemisphere. And I am kind of shocked by that, especially with the amount of international guests that we get here at Walt Disney World. But, yeah, I don't know where it would go in Canada, but it definitely should go. I think Canada should get something. That's just my opinion. I don't know what's going on with this live stream. Someone commented, Tim Chen 1212 commented, the show at the beginning looked very nice. So have they already done a show or something? Because, I mean, you can see the dot is definitely moving. She started all the way back here. She's all the way up there. So maybe this is the most we're going to get, is just trickling along with marine traffic. And if that's the case, I'm severely disappointed. Hamburg Port Live is usually very good about their live streams. So I'm going to hold on here for at least another 10-15 minutes. If they go live, we will still be here. But if they don't, then c'est la vie. Hakuna Matata, as they say. See here. Live chat rules. You can do stickers. Let's see what all this says. Copy. And let me go to Google Translate here. In German to English. Okay, so the description says, experience the spectacular transfer of the Disney Destiny across the Eames River. Disney Cruise Line ships are among the most beautiful and elegant ships in the world's oceans. True, that is a fact. If you have not been on board, you need to get on board. Maybe they're having technical difficulties. That is a reasonable statement. That is true. It's possible they're having technical difficulties. Most beautiful and elegant ships in the world's oceans. We are thrilled to have the opportunity to view and show the ship up close from the front row. Every Eames transfer has something magical about it. It looks as if someone is pulling a giant ship across a meadow. That is absolutely true. Depending on the angle, breathtaking shots can be achieved. We hope to be able to present you with some great impressions again this time. I'll be boarding a little later this time as the transfer starts the evening before around 11 p.m., which would have been 5 p.m. our time. I hope to catch the Disney Destiny in Lear for sunrise. Well, that will be very early in the morning. Let's see what time that would be. Sunrise in Lear, Germany. Not Lear, Lear, Germany. 7:13 a.m. their time, which is like 4 a.m. our time. Because it's 6 hours, but no, it'd be 1 a.m. our time. I don't think I'm going to stay up to watch the 1 a.m. Live sunrise in Lear, Germany, but you never know. Let me see if I can find a picture of when they did the Disney Treasure. It's some of the crazy pictures and video that you see out of this stuff. Sarah asks, oh, do you think that he's not live streaming now because he's commuting to the next stop? I have no idea, because I have no idea who's having difficulties. Buttery Spray, I think we're thinking that Hamburg Port Live is having difficulties, because they were supposed to be live. This says September 19th at 11:30 p.m., but they're in Papenburg, and the time in Papenburg right now is 11:54, so they would be 24 minutes behind schedule. But I mean, it's midnight there, so it's dark as all get up. So it's possible that maybe he just can't get a view. I don't know. But like, oh, here's one of my favorite pictures. Let me see if I can open this one. Open image in new tab. This is from G Captain. And you can see, like, this is what's happening. Oh, it helps if I put it on the screen. This is what's happening right now. Here's the big old giant warehouse where they build these ships, and they float them backwards down this river, and they follow that river all the way back out to the ocean. And it's just such beautiful, beautiful imagery. Again, that's from G Captain here. That you can see. Let's see, this person, pardon the advertisement. There we go. This is from Ships in Motion, new cruise ship Disney Treasure on the River Eames, going to the ocean. Let's see if we can find... maybe there. Or over here. Yeah, there you go. Just this giant cruise ship sailing through, like, the middle of a field, like a cow pasture. And it is so crazy to see some of the images that come out of this. Again, this is Ships in Motion here. This is from last year. They did this in the middle of the day last time, and I don't know why they're not doing it that way now. Come on, focus. My wife Sarah and I went on the Disney Wish earlier this year, and we absolutely loved being able to get out here on the bow and stand there and look at, like, all the other ships that were coming by and doing as we were sailing out of Port Canaveral. It was just stunning. And it really was. There you go. That's a great shot right there. You can truly see that you are in the middle of nowhere. when they are towing this gigantic cruise ship through the area. And so all the Germans, like the German residents in the area, you can see all these cars and all these little specks down here. All these little tiny ants, these little ants are all watching them tow this cruise ship out, which is just really kind of cool. It's just really sweet. I hope to someday be able to get over there for one of these live, so I can actually see it as it's happening. Let me see. There is a link tree here for Hamburg. Let me see if I can find. Nope, it's just all there. Maybe their Instagram has it. I was so excited that I thought I'd be able to see this this live stream. I thought we'd all be able to sit together and nerd out over cruise ships together. And that's not what's happening. And that makes me a little sad. But that's okay. Someone will get video of it. I have zero doubt of that. Yeah, she's all the way through the lock now. That was 3 minutes ago. So I think it's funny because on here you get some of these like little tugboats that you get actual outlines of the tugboat. And on a cruise ship that is actually in motion and like under its own power, you'll get the outline of that ship too. But because she's not under her own power, she's just like being towed. You get this little tiny dot. Well, in order to understand the size of how big she is, you have to look at where the tugboats are to kind of understand that, like, oh, this ship is at least this long right in this area. So that explains why there's a big honking area, nothing in the middle. All right, we're going to give this another like 4 minutes. And if they don't go live, I apologize to all of you profusely, because you can't really have a watch party if there's nothing to watch. And there's only so much I can do there. But I love the Disney ships. They're just so pretty. And I was really looking forward to we were going to do a Disney Treasure Cruise at the end of last year, but my wife fell and broke her ankle, and unfortunately we had to cancel that trip just because she was not mobile at that time, or at least not mobile enough to get on board. She was more mobile by the time we got around to the Wish Cruise, but even then she still had some ankle issues, so we haven't been able to really get back, but someday it'll happen. All right. Well, since this isn't it doesn't look like it's going anywhere, which is disappointing. The show at the beginning tugboats are already mooring. I'm going to ask if they're still going to go live. I actually wonder. You know what? I wonder if this is supposed to be scheduled for in the morning over in Lear. And I wonder if the time is just off. Because it says September 19th at 11:30 p.m. and that was a half hour ago. Yeah, we're now September 20th at midnight. And there's still 19 people waiting. Let me see if there's another Disney Destiny Ames River. One last ditch effort here. Hey, look, there's us. Adventure delayed. Yeah. There's the Destiny float out on Disney Cruise Line blog. Here's the Disney Destiny time lapse. Here, let's watch this. This is courtesy of Disney Cruise Line blog. Their channel is absolutely amazing. If you guys, if you have not yet signed up for a Disney Cruise Line blog account, you definitely should. So that's Disney Treasure behind. She'll get floated out. Boom, there she went. Now this is Destiny. And they're going to move her to the back of the hall here in just a second. Nope, nope, that's where it stopped. Yeah. Well, I guess they're not doing the live stream today. So I am just as disappointed as you all are. I apologize because I was really excited for this stream to happen. And it says September 19th at 11:30, and it is now the 20th in Germany. So maybe it's supposed to be 11:30 our time. Maybe it is time shifted. I don't know. Well, I apologize. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. If nothing else, this was a good live stream test to do the desktop stuff. So I will tally that as a win, and we'll just go from there. So hope you all have a good rest of your day. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Sarah and I will be live at Epcot. So tune in then to go to the park with us. Buttery Sprite, I hope to see you there. Am I saying that right? Is it Buttery Spirit or Buttery Sprite? I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Yeah, we will be going live at 11 a.m. every day until we reach 1,000 subscribers, which, as you can see up here, we're at 730. So we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of November. November 24th is the date that we're trying to get there. So, yeah. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.